பஞ்சு முறுக்கு மந்த்ரா கடலை எண்ணெயில நானே பண்ணுது. ஒரு சேலஞ்ச், உங்களால இந்த மாதிரி முறுக்கு செய்ய முடியுமா? மந்த்ரா கடலை எண்ணெயில முறுக்கு செஞ்சு பாருங்க. ஓகே?
It really gives me a great pleasure to be here in participating in the centenary of P.K. Srinivasan. Whatever I really wanted to say, already his grandson has already told most of the things which I wanted to say. I have nothing really much to add to that. And in fact, starting his life in Muthialpet High School, and that's what I was originally thinking, but on the other hand, now I understand that he was there for 4 or 5 years earlier in a village school. He was appalled by the fact how the mathematics was being taught in those years, and making mathematics rather a difficult subject to those students. As Mr. Atmanaman told me just now, one of his thing is the teachers take it easy instead of it should be actually the teachers make it easy, and that they don't do. And therefore he really wanted to teach even difficult mathematics to the students in a way they would be able to understand. And he even was of the opinion that the teachers are insisting on the skills, but the concepts is what they have to teach. The concept should be caught and not taught, was P.K. Srinivasan's view. And for that reason, he really wrote many books and was a co-founder of AMTA, the Association of Mathematical Teachers of India, which he started somewhere around 1965. And he has been running workshops and expo and everything. And that's the time he came to know of Arvind Gupta, who was interested in low-cost material for teaching. And Srinivasan thought that instead of the low-cost material, it should be actually a no-cost material. Therefore, whatever no cost, he was able to do something with that. And my first, I met Sir Srinivasan, I think in 1982 or 83, he and Atmanaman were going to Nasik to meet Kaprekar. Probably most of you don't know, Kaprekar is also a good mathematician, he has done a lot. And they came to Bombay, and then from Bombay they were taking a bus. And when in Bombay, of course, they came to my house, and we were chatting a long time. And that is the first time I saw him, and that's the first time I came. It's not the first time I came to know of him. I have already heard that there is a mathematics teacher who makes mathematics very, very interesting for the students. But that was the first time I saw him. But then my connection with him became closer after I moved to Chennai in 1985. And when I was able to participate in a few AMTA meetings along with him. And I could see how beautifully he teaches the mathematics. And since I was in the Institute of Mathematical Sciences, we also hosted a few of the programs of the AMTA in IMSC. And this idea particularly became much more stronger after spending an year in US, and then after spending probably a half a dozen years in Nigeria. And when he came back, he decided completely to dedicate his life for two things. Number one, to teach mathematics well, to make it easy for the students, and the number two, to introduce Ramanujam to the students. And one can definitely say that most of the students in 80s and 90s probably would have known about Ramanujam only through P.K. Srinivasan's lectures. And 2 books he wrote, and even for the non-mathematician audience here, I would definitely recommend the 2 books, namely on the creativity of Ramanujan, where from the notebooks of Ramanujan, he collected those material which are easy for high school students to understand, which the high school students would be able to appreciate. Okay? Like, for example, things like, okay, let me say just one mathematics, that the primes of the form 4n plus 1 can be written as sum of 2 squares, which is something which Ramanujan had written already in his notebooks, and explaining all those things. And that's where most of the people learnt about Ramanujan. And let me say a few words about both the things, about his interest in teaching mathematics in such a way that the students would appreciate it. And for that, he did a lot of things. And the newspaper Hindu allowed him to write as articles, Science and Children in Hindu. And they were actually collected by the NCERT, and the NCERT actually brought out a resource material for mathematics club activities. I do not know how many of you are there, and I do believe that this is easily, freely downloadable even from the NCERT website. And this is one thing where at least all the mathematical teachers, I would urge to go through and see what are the things which he did for this resource material to teach mathematics easily. And he has also other interesting books for the students, like Romping in Number Theory, and various other books which you can probably see there. The second interest was about Ramanujan. Yeah, he was appalled by the fact that the students or even the common public were not knowing much about the Ramanujan. And he decided, as I was told by his grandson a few minutes earlier, he collected the various letters which were written by Ramanujan, the letters which were written to Ramanujan, and the other memorabilia. And the first thing which he did is to bring a 2-volume book on letters and reminiscences of Ramanujan, which you can also see. And these books contain not only the letters, but also people who have seen Ramanujam or who have heard about the Ramanujam and their opinion and their remarks, etc. I mean, that is something which we cannot do now, because I don't think there would be anybody who had probably known Ramanujam or heard about him. But that year, he was able to do it, and he brought 2-volume books, and as was mentioned by the grandson, again, the book, not too many copies have been sold, and that is really unfortunate. And again, it is very important, at least all the high school libraries should buy one such a copy and keep it, even if it's individually people don't buy, but they should be bought in the library and kept it to show who Ramanujan is. And then this creativity of Ramanujan. And therefore, we are really celebrating the 100th year of a person who devoted his life completely for mathematics, and in fact, his personal things and domestic duties really took a back seat in his life. And all the time he was really only trying to see how to make mathematics interesting. And I join with all of you in celebrating the same. Thank you.